Well, we got a little bit of an update today, and it fixed a couple of things, a couple bugs and glitches. It wasn't much. That 99 min and max price glitch that was in the game for the last month was fixed today, which was nice. But also in that new patch, there was a pretty funny change that's funny looking at it from the outside, but honestly just shows exactly where EA's priorities always are. So we'll talk about that. There's some Dreamchasers news as well. That's a next promo this Friday. And low drivens appear to be kind of taking over right now, so we'll talk about that as well today. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. There will be a link in the description down below. They are the cheapest and the safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for an 8% discount. And there was some gameplay debate too that was kind of in my comment section and also just in the larger landscape of social media. So, okay, thanks for being here. I apologize for not uploading yesterday. I had an awful headache, so I was not looking at anything light. I was in the dark by myself. But okay, let's start with this Evo here, the Spin Cycle Evo that came out today. With a full complement of skill moves you can use with either foot, you'll be ready to spin your way out of anything. Why is it paid for 7,500 coins? What do you make of that? I don't really know what that shows. Why release this with a 100 FC point total? This feels like they're just trying to get like a few extra dollars from the, I guess somebody out there will probably pay $1 instead of 7,000 coins for this Evo. Like, what was the point in that? I don't know. It really feels like we're gonna see from now on 75+% paid evolutions, which what do you make of that? Is that okay if they're good? Or I mean, at this point we're going on 2 weeks now of 4 out of 5 Evos being paid, and I don't know what to make of it. I think it's not good. I wonder if it is just a FUT birthday thing because they're all 5-star, right? So maybe they are, but then again, you had Doumbia, Gervinho, Ibarbo that drop. It's 150,000 coins and the card is good. It's not that insane though, and that's 150k and $5 for each of them, not just for all three. It's for each of them. And you got training camp Evos that are paid, you have to wait for, and then you have cosmetic Evos that are paid. So I don't know, it really feels like we're just going down the full monetize the shit out of evolutions, and this is probably not going to end until people eventually one day stop doing them. And I do also partly wonder if, as you guys know, we were supposed to get a paid season pass this year that was leaked by multiple tier 1 sources. It was in the beta, it was literally in the game, and we have not seen it yet, and people thought it might be implemented later on into the year. It still could be, but I think now that we're at, we're at season 6 now, where EA really sitting back and like, okay, the 7th season we'll make that one paid, and then for the rest of the year we'll make it paid. Like, I don't see that happening. What I think is probably a decent theory as to what happened here, I think, was they got the bad PR at the start of this year, right? There was low player counts, glitches on release, and whatever, right? It was not good PR wise. I do think they're probably thinking about that and like, should we really implement our paid season pass this year? And I think what they're doing instead is just going to monetize the shit out of evolutions now to make up for that extra revenue they probably thought they were going to make with a paid season pass this year. And just like, hey, we drop paid Evos every day, we might make a very similar amount, if not more actually, and we'll see if they tolerate it. We'll see actually if they're okay with that, because it is so beloved and such a popular new feature. So that's just a theory, of course. There's no legitimate, foolproof proof to that, but it's kind of something I was thinking about, that why haven't we seen it yet? And let me know what you guys think, of course, if that's full of shit or if there's some truth maybe to that. And also with this new Premier League SBC or whatever that came out today, I think the favorites are McAtee and Werner. I think that's what I was seeing on Twitter. I know that Tex and the other guy, I forgot his name off the top of my head, but they have McAtee. Yeah, right here it is Tex, and I think it's these two that are the favorites. So it's just EA trying to get you to watch the pro scene, because nobody will unless there's some sort of reward there. But okay, let's get on to the title of the video now. So here's the patch notes of the update that came out today. So really not much here. There was the min-max price glitch that we talked about, the 99 price, whatever. Terrible glitch that was there for a minute. There's a couple of gameplay things here. In some instances, a ground pass was less accurate than intended in situations where the passer and receiver were not under pressure. So I guess maybe you might notice in completely wide open situations, a ground pass will be more accurate. And this one, sometimes the ball carrier could have slowed down unintentionally when turning during a dribble performed while sprinting. I don't really know what that means. I guess I'm hoping that means that if you're on a breakaway with the player and maybe they take a touch that isn't perfectly straight, right? Say it's a one-on-one striker and center back, a player receives a through ball. That sort of touch there is very inconsistent. Like sometimes you'll fly through like how it should be, and sometimes you get caught up to immediately because the player took kind of a weird touch, and that's a slight turn kind of while sprinting. I don't know if that'll be the case or not, but that's one of the changes there. Last two bullet points, just kind of bugs that were in the game. I think this one actually, I thought this one was that sometimes you pass the ball to a player and it like doesn't lock onto them. I thought that's what this might be. I played today and that happened like 3 times. So that obviously that was not the fix. But if you want to look through the clubs and career mode ones, you can pause the video here, but this is all of them. And this is the rest of the update. There really wasn't much, but what they did change today was something that a lot of offline players were using to their advantage a lot. And that was this. Did they remove in today's update the option of 3 minutes per half in offline draft? Remember there was that objective a little while ago, the offline or online draft objective, where this kind of gained a bit of notoriety. It was like, oh yeah, you can actually change the match length of the draft in the settings. And this was actually a setting that you could change for friendlies as well, like players that you set up a second controller with, go play couch play and get some objectives done really quickly in just 3-minute halves. That way players are doing that in their replies in this Reddit thread, and it was removed today. So it's just one of those little things, right? Does it really mean much? No, it's just an inconvenience slightly. I mean, draft is now 6-minute halves again if you're an offline player, which is, I mean, that's just horrendous. But it just shows you where their priorities are, right? They're like, ooh, yeah, nope, can't do that. For you offline draft players and offline friendlies players out there that can complete things in 1 minute per half faster than a squad battles player would, they were like, we got to fix that right now. That can't happen. So just shows you where their priorities oftentimes can be, but it makes it much worse when these squad battles crashes have just been, I mean, they've been all year, right? They've been constant all year long. They don't fix that, yet they're just patching this shit. I mean, the priorities are ass backwards. We know this by now, but just more proof of it, and I like to highlight it in case you're new around here, new to the FIFA scene or the game in general. EA don't care about you. I know it's breaking news. Multi-billion-dollar corporation doesn't care about you. But okay, we got some Dreamchasers news, and it's going to be this card design here, apparently, this one on the left. And it does say we got Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, Women's Champions League, and heroes and icons. We will be there. 2 fire emojis this time. How many we will be there with fire emojis and alarm emojis strike FIFA Twitter every single day? The number is preposterous. Oh, but yeah, does this not suggest that it's probably going to be some kind of live promo if it's got all of these in it? Like, in what way is there going to be a Champions League, Europa League, Conference League promo that isn't live? I don't know how they do that. I feel like it kind of has to be, unless it's players that have like performed well in the past in the European competitions. But I also feel like Dreamchasers is kind of like, yeah, they're chasing their dream of winning the Champions League or the Europa League or whatever. So the promo name itself kind of makes sense for it to be a live promo. And also FUT Agent says it will include more special evolutions, which I guess at this point is not a surprise at all, but FUT Agent confirms it once again. So yeah, I was seeing people on Twitter being like hyped up about this promo. I'm like, I don't know how we have any idea what it's even going to be, let alone be hyped up for it. But we do get Beckenbauer's base version added into packs for the Dreamchasers promo. And then also it's confirmed it's going to be a 2-week promo. So hopefully it's okay, because it's gonna be 2 weeks long, like all the promos are apparently these days. And his first campaign version will follow on April 4th with the Immortals promo. But I mean, with the way the Roma trio came in, I didn't think it was actually that great how they did it. Like, yeah, we got at least versions that we can Evo for free, which I think is nice. But 150k for each, and the cards weren't that crazy, really, when you think about it, is kind of disappointing. Maybe that's being a bit nitpicky there. And also super sub players, we have no idea. We've not heard of anything about this since the update, and there's no leaks yet, so I'm guessing it'll come soon. One of these Fridays, these will probably come out, but we have no word about that yet. And quickly, guys, with today being St. Patrick's Day, as I'm recording this now, it's the day after St. Patrick's Day. You know, it just is interesting how far we have gone back in terms of like little fun things they add into the game. Maybe this is me looking at things with rose-tinted glasses, like looking back at FIFA 17 when we had the pot of gold packs that we could open to see a certain amount of coins that we could get, or little things like the promo teams coming in. These cards right here, you know, looking at this, you'd be like, who even gives a shit? You know, looking at these cards, like, you can't use any of these guys. But this was at a different time when you actually could use theoretically silvers in the game and use low-rated golds. It was a much different time in FIFA. But just more things like this: FUT Player Days, Chinese New Year. I don't know what happened to those. It just feels like everything is so corporate now, so planned out, so many weeks and months in advance. It all feels so calculated and not as, I guess, sort of handcrafted by people who love the game like it used to sometimes sometimes feel like. And I just think maybe, of course, we look back on things now much differently than how we felt at the time, I think. But I also think sometimes the grass isn't always greener, and we do actually wish we could go back to how it was before. And maybe we sometimes do take it for granted a little bit, and we didn't like it at the time, but we didn't realize what we had, right? So I think it kind of can go both ways. But what do you guys think about just like little things like this? I just don't think we see anymore, especially things that, you know, can give back to us. We definitely don't see that anymore unless they're losing money, which in that case, free Maradona for you, and maybe a free Roma trio coming in, and a Beckenbauer, maybe that might be free too, and a free Zidane, and a free Bellingham. Yeah, that one too. And guys, the low-driven playstyle and playstyle plus mainly appears to have kind of taken over here. It appears to be very, very good. I'll show you a clip or two here. Here's this clip from Ricky, this new Rodman SBC, and I'll show you this angle that you can score from now that is actually pretty hard to score from in this game. If you don't have the low-driven shot, it's right there. That angle actually can be pretty tough to score from. Like, this would still be a good shot with a player that's not low-driven plus, of course, but there's a chance this is saved if it's not low-driven or finesse. Like, say it's just a normal circle shot, right? But the fact that you can score this angle and even a little bit further, like here with the low-driven, is a huge benefit. Now, seeing some pro players say it's as good as finesse shot, if not maybe even better. You know, every angle it can go in from, right? Just to see that one there, that's not the prototypical low-driven angle you would expect, and you can still do it and it goes in. There's a speed boost with Rodman, and then low-driven across body there is just, it's very, very good apparently. I don't know why I said apparently. I was using it today and it was very, very good. But also with the FUT birthday, right? Just, I cannot believe that we have a promo that celebrates old FIFA legends. That's how it's supposed to be celebrated by. And we don't see an Arturo Vidal card, a Sissoko card, Marco Reus. Like, this shows you what it is now. And it does sometimes feel like I was saying earlier, people who are, you know, making the promo cards in this game, do they know about a lot of the beloved old FIFA cards because they weren't around back then? I know there's thousands of players. There can only be, what, like 40 or 50 FUT birthday cards in itself. But the fact that, you know, an Arturo Vidal, who we've been waiting for a card for, was added to the game this year, who's had some incredible FIFA cards in the past. You could pick other players too, of course, that have been around for a long time. I didn't get FUT birthday cards, and I sound like the get off my lawn old guy. I really don't want to do that. I think that that's a bad mentality to have a lot of the time, but it does feel like it's just so much more not as connected, maybe is a good way to put it, as it used to be. And last bit of news here, Bruno is the favorite for player of the month. There's no more games this month, so it's pretty much guaranteed to beat Bruno Fernandes. 2 goals, 2 assists there. Salah and Elanga with 2 goals. But yeah, you're probably going to see a Bruno player of the month in like 2.5 weeks or 3. Yeah, no, actually it'll be like over 3 weeks, I think. We'll see a Bruno player of the month there. Okay, let's talk about the market, because with the new low-driven shot, it's very much a thing that will spread quickly. It kind of has spread quickly already. You know, a lot of the low-driven plus players are actually not that expensive. You know, Lineker's 58,000, Nabry's 32,000. But basically, I think we can kind of infer now that these are going to be in high demand. So just take that for whatever you will, really. Trading with these kinds of cards, if you're into that thing, and just having these cards, you know they're going to be in demand. And it does kind of bring up another question, though, because EA can just add in playstyles that are very, very good to cards. And what happens when they do that maybe next year with a new playstyle, and there's like 3 cards in the game with that for a week, and it's insanely overpowered, and then it becomes kind of a pay-to-win situation there. Like, EA definitely need to be careful with doing this, and I'm glad they added in a bunch of cards, like a couple SBCs as well, with the playstyle, so people could get the card pretty quickly. But also, you do maybe worry if that's another concerning trend for the future. It's like, oh my god, they're going to add playstyles in, they're going to be insane, and there might be eventually one day only 3-4 cards in the game with that, and it's just, they're all crazy expensive, and it's nuts. And that didn't happen here, which I do credit them for that, but I do worry still, because this is EA we're talking about. But okay, with the market though, Dreamchasers promo probably going to be live. We talked about today, it was Monday, we talked about kind of like maybe being a good buy day, actually, because live cards usually pretty expensive. The market has room to rise, less evos maybe. I do think it's probably still one of your better days to do that. I do though have slight reservations, because we have a 3 playstyle plus Alawayron in the season. What promo will be the first 3 playstyle plus promo? I'm guessing we're going to see it very soon, because last year team of the seasons had 3 playstyles, and because the team of the years had them, and now Alawayron has them, will they still be, it would be okay with 3? I would assume so, but you never know what EA are going to do if say Dreamchasers has 3, Immortals has 3, the next promo has 3, then some tots have 4, and then the rest at least have 3, but some might have 4. You know, I don't know what they're going to do with the playstyle plus situation, because I changed it from last year slightly, but if you somehow get cheap 3 playstyle plus players, you might see it drop again. But I do think you're like, all likelihood is today's a pretty good time, actually, and Wednesday Rivals Rewards too, I think. And okay, let's read your comments now. I was seeing a lot of debate actually in the comment section, because the top comment here was about pack weight being kind of tied to players' accounts. So there were some comments like talking about that. Here's one of them. I played for the past 2 to 3 years, but this year I did not buy until Christmas. I almost instantly got R995 and Viera Thunderstruck in 3 days. Smells fishy. And that's the thing, is that any skeptic could sit here and say, I could sit here and say it's confirmation bias. You're obviously looking for it. There's plenty of people who have got the game but didn't get anybody, and you just had good luck. Of course, I mean, we have no idea what lengths they go to keep you on the game. If DDA is in the game, right? That's all designed to keep you on the game. We know they try to induce FOMO constantly all the time. They have psychologists on the payroll to basically trick your brain into staying on the game longer. That's what they do. It's pretty insane. They obviously don't care about underage gambling, so the morals, like we know EA's morals are not fully aligned with where probably ours are. So I think that people having these theories of like, yeah, I get off the game, I hop back on for 1 day, pack something crazy. Of course they could do that, right? Of course, they literally control the pack odds. They don't show you the pack odds on packs you just earn. You know, they don't show you the pack odds. Why? Because they don't have to, and they can be secretive with things. And if you're choosing to be secret about things and not show us and be very transparent, why wouldn't we assume things like this? Of course, people are going to. So if you want to halt that speculation in terms of if you were EA, you would come out and maybe show pack odds then on packs that you earn or whatever. You know, there's just things they could do, but clearly they don't care enough to do that because, well, they might actually be manipulating things on the back end like that. And the most upvoted comment yesterday was Diamond Plays saying, I may get a ton of hate for this, but I'm actually enjoying the game. I have an RTG as my only account, and I have a better team than most. It feels satisfying to grind and get a good player. Even if FIFA 2K comes out, I think I'll be staying with FC. I'm not riding or glazing, so shush. And there's a lot of debate about this, but yeah, I think it is okay to enjoy things. Like, believe it or not, yes, it is okay to like something. And, you know, to a certain extent, I think all of us do. I think we all love a lot of aspects of this game, and we're passionate about it because, you know, you're watching content on it right now. I make content on it. Like, obviously, we have to love it to some degree. But yeah, don't let somebody, like even me, don't let me tell you if I hate something that comes out and you like it, it's okay, right? It's okay that you enjoy something. You don't feel guilty about that. I might disagree with you vehemently, whatever it may be, but it's okay to still feel that way. And I do think, too, it is also all right to like something and appreciate the good things about it, and also be critical of it as well. Especially now, I mean, we've seen what it's like. You can still, there can be a lot of users on the game, but if they're not spending money, EA are hurting by that still. You know, we just saw EA have to put in that extra effort to try and get players back and try and get the money spent. The player count, at least on Steam, looked kind of the same as last year, but numbers and the profits were way down. Less people spent money on the game, and, you know, we can make change by doing that. And I bring that up because the common criticism is always like, if you don't like the game, why the hell are you playing it? They're always going to be making money. If you continue to play it, the FIFA points don't matter. You have to actually stop, which is many creators takes, which is always baffling to me. It's like, I'm not going to not do it because we have to stop playing altogether. We're not going to do that. There's no point. It's like, we just saw us actually make a dent into things and make them have to do stuff by just kind of people finally discussing like, hey, let's actually not spend money on the game because it's kind of a ripoff and it's kind of shit and it's kind of shady. And all of a sudden, look what's happened this year. Like, they've actually had to make effort into doing things. So what I'm kind of, my whole point with that is that if you're having fun on any game, not even just FC, any game, don't feel guilty about that. And also, you can still have fun in the game and be critical of it, which I think is an important thing to do, because people will just take your opinion more seriously that way. And same with EA. EA won't take opinions seriously that are just, you know, constant hating barrage on the game all the time. You're easy to dismiss that way. So yeah, okay. I think that's it for me. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you all so much. Love you all. Everyone. Peace.